Good morning, my dear friends. Here we are again in Villa Torlonia in Rome, talking about A Way to Balance, this book that should help all of us to be what we were supposed to be, what we should be, what we can become, something really amazing. And today we are here in this special place, not by chance. Over there, where you see those three buildings, I buried my first dog, and he was a very special dog. Jack was his name. His name, I tend to consider it like a person. It's not a person, but like a person. And it doesn't seem appropriate, not even for vegetables. But can you imagine how inappropriate it is for an animal with all his feelings and desires and passions and intelligence, instinct, hints? An amazing creature, and he was my friend from not long, but he was very important because it was the first dog in my life, and I understood how important it is to have a relationship with animals. Our life in cities, in apartments, with school, with desks, rooms, everything is artificial, and it's sad because this system takes us away far from what we really are, because we are animals. We are very special animals, but we still are animals. We breathe, we drink, we eat. We are very, very similar to our brothers. So it's important that we stay in the family, that we live with our family. And our family, our very close family, relatives, parents, brothers, sisters. But then we have neighbors, and then we have our country, then we have humanity. But then we have animals. All the animals on the planet are part of our distant relatives. And then we have vegetables. Then we have minerals. Everything is part. We are part of this huge family. And living with an animal allows us to understand better this relationship with the nature, because the animals are more connected to the nature, are still more connected to the nature than us, than what we have become. And this is like an aid, it's like a teacher, the animal, that can make us remember what it should be. Animals do not create pollution, do not destroy the environment with radiation from atom bombs or nuclear facilities or plastic islands of plastic. No. The animals make many mistakes. Their life is very simple, but they don't destroy our planet as we are doing. Who is more evolved? We should ask ourselves. So I think we are more evolved, but we need this root. If we don't have this good relationship with animals and with vegetables and with minerals, with water, with clouds, with the sun, with the moon, with everything that is surrounding us and that gives us life, if we don't have this kind of good relationship, we tend to be separated. And that's the magic word. The word separation. Satan. So separated, you mean I have to fight to have what I need, because I'm alone. I'm desperate. I'm alone. I have to fight, and everyone that I meet is an enemy, is a possible obstacle to what I get. Mors tua vita mea, said our ancestors. It's a very, very bad way to live, sad way to live. But we can choose. Animal can be an aid to become a better person, someone who understands how connected we already are with everything, with the nature, with the grass, with everything. And so we have to preserve all this for the future generations. Even more, we should make the planet a better place to live for everyone, instead of destroying it. So it's up to us. If we understand this message, it's easy for us to become a better person, happier, wiser, more long-lived. There is a study. They made a study, very interesting research in Sweden, I think Sweden or Norway, that those who have a pet, they live with a dog, especially the study was made with dogs, live longer. It's very interesting. Live longer. They made a very profound research on 35,000 tweens, and they saw that this characteristic is this feature inside of us is genetically enhanced. So if you are identical twin, you have if your twin has a dog, you have a possibility much higher than the normal population, or than your brothers. They've studied identical twins and different twins. So they saw that this feature of having a dog as a companion, as a life companion, is genetically enhanced. So it is a character that was developed in our evolution. It was a characteristic that make our possibility of surviving better, improved our chances of survival. So that's why it has spread in the population in this way. And it's a very interesting study because they say that they live longer. People who has a dog live longer than people who doesn't have a dog. And this should make us understand that it's very important that we have a good relationship with animals, and pets can help us in this. Over there, I buried my first dog, and he was a very special being. I called him the philosopher because I found him in the morning looking at the sky, thinking. I don't know. He was a special dog. But this is not the place to tell you all the adventures that we had together. But I can tell you that it was very important to me, and I thank him from the bottom of my heart. Wherever he is, I thank him. And I hope the best for him. And it's important that we have a good connection with animals, because it allows us to rebalance our connection with our animal life, with the animal inside of us. And sex is one of the characteristics of the square. You remember the square we were telling in the beginning of this of the book? Then we have these 4 sides: sexuality, territoriality, competition. Then we have consuming food, land, air, water, whatever. and then having fun. These four features are part of our being an animal. And we have to, there's nothing wrong with this, all these characteristics or these tendencies that we have. We have to bring balance with the superior parts of our being, because that's the real guide for our people inside. It's like having a people inside of ourselves and a leader. The leader should be a wise leader, a good captain who knows his crew and take care of each member of his crew, like a father, like a mother. Like Captain Janeway said on Star Trek. Very, very easy to understand. And we should be the same with all our forces, and the sex is one of these forces. But it's not only that, it's also something that can be used as a therapy. That's the title of this chapter, Sex as a Therapy. The ancient Taoists discovered that sex was always a therapy, especially if you practice it with the restraint, with the ejaculation, with all the system that we have learned in the book. And but there is a special way of practicing sex with the partner, so certain positions that allow us to cure certain diseases. And why is this? I think, this is my personal point of view, that this is the reason, because all the Wu Qing, all the 5 elements, movements are represented as control center on our sexual organs. So as we move it inside the vagina in the different ways according to the position of the body, I'm receiving the shadow, can change how I can interact with the energetic system. Think about, for example, the meridian system, the channels system of acupuncture that we will study with the tuina. So in a different position we will have a different stimulation of centers of command, and that can create a change in the energetic system, and that can create a healing force that can heal certain diseases. You will find in the book that I have collected 15 different positions, but there are many more positions that you can find if you look on the internet or in some books, or if you have the lucky possibility to find a real Taoist sex master. So what I can tell you is that we have the possibility, and we can improve ourselves, our sicknesses, and we go back again to the same issue. Why do we look for strange technological, horrible, sometimes poisonous solutions to our problems? It's a tendency that we all have. There was a sage who used to say the desire to take poisons is something that creates, that we don't share with the animals. It's a natural characteristic of the human. Well, it's not always like that, because also the animals look for certain remedy in nature. And some of them are sometimes have a little toxic power, but normally it's like this. So we should make this comparison, and you see the connection with my dog, with pets in general, the environment, sex. If we produce a huge amount of plastic and we leave it in the planet, we pollute the planet, we destroy the environment. And in the end, we will have a great problem for ourselves. Health problem, mainly. Because Earth doesn't know plastic. We invented it. We created it. There are no natural bacteria that can digest it. When, on the opposite side, if we use, for example, paper, paper is made of cellulose. Cellulose is made by trees, so nature knows it. If I throw this book here and nobody touches it, in probably 6 months it disappears, because insects, worms, and snails, water, cold, heat, it disappears. And every molecule is reintroduced in the system in a positive, healthy way. If we pollute the environment with radiations, with all these chemicals, with drugs, all these things, we pollute the environment, we pollute our body the same way. This is the problem. But we can have and help a very important aid from the animals, from sex, made in the proper way. Isn't it amazing? Many times we look for very dangerous substances to cure our illnesses, whilst the ancient Taoists discovered that making love with our partner in a certain position can cure in a very pleasurable way many illnesses. So, what can I tell you? We should look for what is the best for us, always, and not trust too much someone who may have an interest in selling their products, and they're inclined to make people sick or die, destroy the environment, to get rich. So we shouldn't trust so easily people. We can try. What evil can come from us from making love in this position if we're suffering from a problem with erection, for example, and you use the bulb, the position of the bulb? No harm can be done. So try it and see what happens. There are 3 different groups of positions. The first is the general, made by the general position. It means that they cure men and women in the same time. So there is no doctor, there is no patient. They are both doctor and patient. Then there are the group that heal or improve the health of men. In that case, man is the patient, and the female is the doctor. The woman is the doctor. And then you have the group where the female is cured and men are the doctors. Even if the ancient masters say that women receive much more healing forces than men in the position for men, for men. So when women acts as a doctor, receives more energy, more good energy than what men receive when they do the doctor. But anyway, these are the groups of positions. I'm not going to explain, it's a very long story. The only thing that I would add now at this point is that we can create a connection with a certain body whenever or wherever we want. I mean that every sexual intercourse can be used to bring energy to a sick organ. For example, a knee, I have a problem in the knee, so when I have the relationship, the sexual intercourse, and I arrive to the climax, I can try to, especially after the climax, I can make the contraction of the deer exercise and do as I do in the bonobo exercise, give to the pool, and try to push the energy in the body. The contraction that we feel during the orgasm should push the energy in the energetic system, and that's why it is so effective to bring health, peace, and harmony. And in this case, we see that how with this exercise, all of them, and or this practice of healing with the sexual energy in every position, all this allows us to understand better how important it is to have a partner and how grateful we should be towards our partner, because he's curing our illnesses, he's curing our weaknesses. So with this beautiful and wonderful possibility, I leave you and have a nice day in this wonderful planet we're living. So long.